Tammy, and I am the first place national Lash Lift champion and founder of Keravie Pro. This week I'm putting together a series called How to Grow Your Business During a Pandemic. This idea came to me because I realized there's so many frustrated women out there who've taken all these expensive lash and beauty courses thinking they're going to make bank, and then coming out and realizing they don't have any customers, I don't know why these customers aren't coming back, am I even priced correctly, and when am I gonna break even? If this sounds like you are not alone. That's why this week I'm going to put together a quick series, bite-sized pieces of information, tools that you can use and implement today so that you can come out of this pandemic stronger than ever. Today we're going to start off at ground zero and we're going to talk about sales forecasting. Okay, so once you've downloaded Boss Babe Slash and Brow Spa Excel spreadsheet, you're going to open it up and see the startup expenses on the first tab and the sales forecast and break even on the second tab here. I've already gone through and inputted all formulas so that it's going to give you your percentage margin, number of services that you need to complete, as well as your break-even points on each service and your break-even on your startup, as well as your monthly break-even points, plus your profit per week, month, and year. Your only job now is just to input everything highlighted in the pink cells. And this spreadsheet looks complicated, but I promise you it is not. All you have to do is input what your projections are, and based on what your assumptions are, it should tell you whether or not this is the right career for you, whether it's profitable, or even if you want to decide whether or not you should be bringing in another product, or maybe you should be raising your prices and what that effect has on your overall income. This is a super tool to use. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the startup expenses and fill everything out. So I've already gone through and pre-populated my cost for startup. I've itemized it into 4 major categories: your tuition, your equipment, your operating, and marketing expenses. So if you are just starting out and you're a student, I definitely recommend to make sure you keep everything as low as possible, because obviously the lower your startup expenses, you'll be able to turn a profit quicker. So my startup expenses is coming in at $1,477. Not bad for a startup. Awesome. So I'm going to head over to the sales forecast and break-even points. This is where all of the services you plan to offer will be housed. I plan to only offer the lash lift and brow lamination as my initial service offerings. So let's just say that I want to offer it at $125, but I am a student and I'm going to price myself as a student. I'm going to come in at $75 for both prices. I'm definitely going to sell the keratin mascara because that is a must. And then you'll want to include the cost of goods sold. So this is how much it costs you to complete one of these services. It is about $5.61 to buy the actual product for that specific service for the keratin, lash lift, and tint. But if you have a lot of disposable products, then that number is going to go up. I don't have a ton, so I'm going to assume that it is coming in just under $6 per service. And then the keratin mascara I get at Keystone at $34. Okay, now I have my projections per day. So I have my keratin, lash lift and tint, and brow lamination. Let's just say that because I'm a student, I'm still really slow. It takes me like 2 hours to do an appointment and 30 minutes to clean up and evaluate what I did well and what I did wrong. So I have 4 maximum services that I can do per day. I will do 2 lifts and 2 laminations per day. So I'm going to say about 1 in 2 clients will purchase the aftercare. This is where most people stop and they're like, this is the number I want. That is cool, but you gotta keep going. Okay, my processing fees, I plan to only take cash and e-transfer in the beginning, so I will have no processing fees. And then my working days per week, I plan to work 2.5 days per week. And my percentage booked. This is a really important number because most of the time people stop here and they're like, okay, I'm going to be probably 100% booked. Sadly, that is not the case, because when you just look at that number, the 100% booked, then you're like, oh my God, only working 2.5 days per week. I am making here a gross margin of $3,700 per month. This is your potential booked margin. Because you are assuming that you're going to see 43 clients or completing 43 services per month. But as you first start out, this is likely not the case. You are just learning. So I'm going to put 25% as I am a student, which is 1 booking per month. Then you're only doing 11 services per month. Again, don't be too sad. You are just starting out and you're a student. Okay, now you have your fixed costs. So my rent, I work from home right now, so $0. Now I want to include any other fixed costs like insurance, email hosting, web hosting, phone, and anything else put in this section. You can see that because I only have $100 as my fixed cost, my break even on the services, I don't need to complete even like a full service of each service to break even. Then I have my cost of advertising, which I'm going to leave at 0 because I'm not going to do any advertising until I am super confident in my lash lifting and brow lamination. So now you have your projections. Based on my prices, as well as how many days I plan to work, my break even on my startup expenses is 8 weeks. In other words, 2 months. Then each month, I'm going to break even after 1 day of work because I only have $100 as my fixed cost. So very low risk. Each week, I'm going to make a profit of just under $200 or just like under $1,000 each month, and then a profit of $9,858 per year. This is really cool, only working like 1 service per day. But this is obviously not what you're going for if you're planning to make this as your career. But I want to show you what these values look like because as a student, this is actually very common and it's might be where you're at right now. I would say that most people don't momentum until they are like within 3 to 6 months of what they're doing because people have to know who you are, you have to spend time getting your name out there, and you have to do all of those mistakes that you don't want to be doing on like your full charging clients. Okay, but let's say now I am in a position where I am getting really, really good. I've done like 20 to 30 clients, so it's been like 3 months now, and I'm ready to start increasing my prices, and I'm already seeing that at this point, at working 2.5 days per week, I'm like 100% booked at that price. People, like, you can tell at this point, I'm like turning people away. I am like not charging enough probably. I've increased this to 100%. Now you can see that my potential booked margin actually is at $3,700. So now you can start seeing I am going to be breaking even so fast each month. I actually am starting to see a good profit. So each month I'm actually making $3,600 per month. I am now ready to probably start thinking about getting my own studio space. I've gone around and I've checked. I am trying to decide whether or not I should be booking Studio A, and they want to charge like a price of, let's just say $800 a month, but it's like a bed and it's kind of not that nice. And it doesn't have very good traffic. And then I'm looking at Studio B and they are charging $1,250 per month for this room. And it seems like a really big difference, but we should put in some assumptions, okay? Like, let's just say that Studio A is kind of out of the way. It doesn't get much traffic, so it's not really gonna add to revenue. But I would think that Studio B being in a high traffic area, and let's just say it's also surrounded by a bunch of other studios similar to mine, they do nails, they do hairs, or if they do facials, they actually might add 25% more bookings to me. So you can write in this spreadsheet, no problem. Okay, and I'm moving over to a Swisher studio. I'm going to increase my prices to $100 per service now. I'm getting better at it. I'm also making a name for myself as becoming really good at brow laminations. Now I can complete 3 laminations and 2 lash lifts per day, and I'm starting to get values, and I'm seeing that, yeah, on average, I'm doing about 60% laminations and 40% lifts. I'm also getting really good at selling my keratin mascara. 75% are purchasing when they are coming in to see me, and probably going to want to be able to start offering clients the opportunity to pay with credit card. So if I decide to stay using with Square, their processing fees are 2.9%. Now this is my full-time gig. Yay! I'm going to work 5 days a week, and based on that, I'm going to move over all of my clients. So this will drop down to 50%. So let's just take a look at my booked gross margin per month now. So I'm at $6,188 for my gross margin. Awesome. Now I need to include my fixed costs. So $800 for Studio A, which means that my total fixed costs are $903. So now you can see how that has changed. So each month you're going to break even after 3 days of work. And your profit per week is $1,229 per week, or $5,286. I want to copy this compared to Studio B. Okay, now I want to see what my change with Studio B is going to be. So my monthly rent is $1,250. I'm going to see an increase of bookings because you have like a good relationship with people around you, they're referring you, and you have high traffic. Let's just say now that based on this assumption, you're going to be 75% more booked. Let's see what happens to your profits. Based on this projection, then you should absolutely go with Studio B because you are making so much more, $2,500 per month more. Even if you only make 10% more than you were at Studio A, you can see that it still makes a huge difference because each month you are making $800 more than at a studio that has less traffic and less like-minded businesses. So yeah, this very basic exercise. Feel free to go through and make modifications to this spreadsheet. It is not locked. I even have a product B so you can see whether or not you should be bringing in this product or not, and play with the variables to see how your projections change. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little tutorial. I know I said it was bite-sized, but I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed pieces like this, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keravie Professional. Have a great day, guys.